content marketing is something that really has been done for hundreds of years, not dissimilar from content strategy. It's just not been done very well of late. Content marketing is really using organic stories that we can create to deliver value to our consumers beyond our product or service, but in order to change or enhance a consumer behavior. And so it's really using content in a non-sales way, non-call to action way, in order to influence a consumer to do something. It could be driving greater awareness, it could be driving greater lead velocity through the funnel, or it could even be driving greater client satisfaction, upsell, retention, etc. But it's using content and storytelling as a way to influence a consumer behavior. Content marketing people, we operate with big magic markers. Content strategists operate with scalpels and fine pens. And it's really understanding the difference of drawing big stories with content marketing and influencing emotional enhancement to that consumer versus how we organize, manage, and strategize the use of content across all sorts of channels, including mobile, that really drive the two. And they need each other, right? So content marketing really needs content strategy, and content strategy can be an extraordinarily important piece of a content marketing strategy. Mobile, ultimately, at the end of the day, is another attribute for how our personas, the people that we're trying to influence or reach, are going to consume our content. And so, just like any other channel that we want to reach them through, we've got to understand first, not how we want them to use the content, but how the consumer wants to consume our content. So many people think that just mobilizing a website and scraping the entire content and fitting it into a tiny screen, or that responsive design is content strategy. It's not. It's understanding first the content strategy of how our consumer wants to consume it, and then understanding how mobile influences that. So for some, it might be we need to deliver functional content on mobile or proximity-based content on mobile, but then more brand awareness or other types of content on our website. Or it might be short form versus long form, depending on how our consumers want to consume it. So it's really understanding how, from a mobile perspective, either tablet or phone, and even those can be different, how those experiences are going to be different and how content can drive that different experience and create value ultimately. The real key to understanding that is to start with content strategy and the process and how we can organize and best display that content for consumers first, and then think about the channels and how to best optimize the content for each one of those channels. And then it becomes a much easier decision. Okay, are we developing an app? Maybe, maybe not. Are we developing a mobile website? Maybe, maybe not. And then what should the content populating that site be? The first step is to understand what your consumer wants. So, as I like to say, I always want to start with my customer and understanding how they're consuming content and how they might want to consume it across a mobile channel. So really understanding they're not just by asking, but also watching and understanding how they behave, and really understanding them at an emotional level as a person that we're trying to deliver value to. So that's the first step. And then taking that and then saying, okay, what content do we have to deliver that value to that customer, or what content do we need to develop in order to deliver that value to a customer? Those two first steps are the first steps of a content strategy that is really mobile driven.